Truth Man here. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subject channel. So I want to talk about this whole deadbeat thing. Like these people try to make it out like these guys be leaving their kids. These dudes ain't leaving their kids, man. I would say 99 out of 100, when they leave, it ain't got nothing to do with their kids. It's other stuff. Like, let's say a good guy, a guy that did all he could, that tried to work with her, but she just too disrespectful, she nagged too much. He feel like he gonna get in trouble because she trying him, like some women to get physical. When he leaves, a dude in a situation like that, you can't try to say that it's because he leaving his family behind. Man, he ain't, look, man, some dudes don't have a choice. Who want to sit up in a jail cell? This what y'all got to realize, man. I done worked in the jails. And me working in the jails and stuff, the correctional system, it showed me more than ever that you got to go completely out of your way not to do anything where you can end up in a place like this. Like you gotta plan your life not to be in a place like that. So if you gotta realize that women can be a fast track, a shortcut to prison and to jail. When you realize that in your mind, and you get to that point in your relations with a woman where she getting physical or she pushing you to the point where you would get physical, a dude that think like this is gonna remove himself. It ain't got nothing to do with his kids. These women, sometimes you be in the way. Like when a woman gets DICK curious and you a shut down guy, you be shutting her down, it's like she gonna attack you. Like she gonna, and it don't matter, oh, she only had one body or two bodies or nobody. It ain't gonna matter. When she get curious, she gonna look at it like she's missing something. That's number one. And she's gonna look at it like you're in the way. Number two. See, any woman can act right when you're doing everything that she wants you to do. But when the trials and tribulations of life start coming, if that woman ain't with you for the right reasons, she's gonna start to fold. She gonna start to act different. When you get laid off and the money go dry and you can't get them Christmas gifts, when you start having repossessions, foreclosures, evictions, you gonna see how much she love you. Because a woman who love you is gonna help you. She's gonna help you. She's gonna encourage you. She ain't gonna spend all her time criticizing you and blaming you. When it's both, the life is both of y'all's. The marital life is both of y'all's. So, for a lot of dudes, it gets awkward. Like, I already know it's gonna be real awkward. Like, when you think about it, and a lot of guys experiencing this right now, the judge make you pay their rent, but she changed the locks on the door. So some other dude got the key to a house that you gotta pay for. That's the kind of stuff that makes stuff awkward. You divorce a woman, now every time you come around your kid, you looking at this clown. Like, it's just awkward, man. That's why I would tell y'all to avoid. Look, man, having a family ain't what you think. It's good, but when things go sour, it could get really bad. I be sitting around thinking about this stuff like, man, this could get really awkward. Like, I just can't picture a dude that trying to tell my kids what to do. that's only there because she took a childish attitude and stopped being who she was supposed to be. If she would have did, like, she don't gotta be perfect, but she would have took a different route with the sex and just kind of scale back, be more quiet, not talking all that stuff that's gonna provoke me, and we just get to argue it and we get to insulting each other, then we wouldn't be talking about this. But when you dealing with an alpha, when you dealing with a dude that's masculine, you can't come at him like that. You gonna have to submit. You gonna have to like continue in your wifely duties. You're not finna be a wife and not perform your wifely duty. It's a couple things that I would say she could have did, and that we would have never been in this situation. She could say what she want. We not in this situation because of me. If she would have handled the trials and tribulations of life better and been more forgiving, those 4 things, I think I would have looked past everything else. And I would have still stood on her, but I would have looked past everything else. You not finna hold a grudge against me like you perfect, and I know you not. Trying to criticize me for everything I do, but then when I criticize you, you shut down, you run, you lock yourself in the bathroom and refuse to talk about it. That kind of stuff. It was little stuff, man. Did I know that some of her behaviors, I know it's gonna be awkward dealing with these kids. I already know. And like I tell y'all guys, if you want a family and it get awkward for you, just make another one. Make another one. Try to protect yourself and make sure you got the money put away in case she clown on you just like the last one did. Don't tell her about all your money. Have some put up for yourself in case. It's risky either way. I would say forget that family stuff. Just live your life. Have fun with these women from time to time. Because it gets awkward like this. You get divorced. Now this other dude, every time you come around your kids, you got to look at this punk. That's how it be. Some of them ain't going to have nobody, but some of them is. Some of our ex-wives are going to remarry. And then you got to look at and then you're going to be, now you got a whole nother avenue to avoid going to jail. Like, dude, most dudes gonna try to think they tough. Dude, don't tell my kids nothing. They not your kids. If you got a problem with my kids, you come to me and let me address it. Man, they in my house, brother. All right. That's how most guys gonna do. They gonna try to act like they tough. Like me, I know I'm cut from a different cloth. I tell her, man, you said he a good father, let him have his kids. And we'll just do our thing. And when it's your turn to have the kids, you have the kids. Why you trying to make this man pay child support and all this and you know he a good dad? Get your own. I ain't never seen the paint like that. That's nice. Like, man, get your own. But most dudes ain't like me, though. That's how I would approach it. These dudes ain't deadbeats, though, man. I know a lot of guys from school, from work, from all different walks of life, from the neighborhood. I can't even think of one that just got a problem with his kids. The only dudes that might have a problem with their kids is if they wonder if those even their kids. I saw something funny on one of them judge shows. He said, I've dealt with this for years. He said, I just know these aren't my kids. They're too ugly. They're ugly. These are not my kids. So they was older. And they end up getting divorced. Or whatever. He said, I just need closure. None of them was his kids. It be guys out there like me. I ain't worried about that. Like, sometimes a woman's behavior will make that cross your mind, but I'm not worried about that, and I wouldn't care either way. Now, if some information came out, of course you want to be the type of person that investigate it, especially if she trying to fleece you. And some information came out with you to make you question. Then, of course, you want to pursue it and see what's going on. Like he did. He said this been eating him up his whole life. And it come to find out those wasn't his kid. Y'all be trusting these women, man. The dude could have a smaller one than you, and you sometime won't even know. But these dudes ain't. That's just something. Another way people try to promote feminism and to put men down is to make them like they deadbeats because they married somebody that changed too much for them to stay married to him. And you can't, look, if a woman want to divorce you and she go do it, it ain't nothing you could do. How are you a deadbeat because a woman don't want you? I'm telling you, life is weird in the U.S., man. They claim we got this the freest country in the world. Not for divorce, man. Not for a divorced man who made more than his wife or was the only one working. They turn you right into a slave sometime. Like I say, I just hope that the judge is fair. And remember, everything I say on these videos is not to put her down, none of it. It's to help other guys so they can recognize how this thing really works and what you up against when you just trying to lead with your emotions and your feelings. We live in a country where you can't lead with your emotions and your feelings. You gotta be rational. And the rational thing for most guys is just to stay single. Stay single, mingle. Because you get married and it don't work out, you gonna be just like me and just like these other dudes. Awkward situation. Like Deion Sanders, it's crazy because like you gotta let her enjoy the moment too. Those her kids too. But it's just so awkward for him. You can see it. Like how he ran off like that during the last game when he escorted his sons out there. Awkward. Because think about it. When you look into what happened with him and Pilar made some crazy accusation. I was looking at some stuff about that. Like Pilar, you would think Pilar was crazy. Some of the stuff. But on the show, she tried to play that role like it was all Deion. Come to find out, when you like look at some of the information that was out there about them, you be like, man, Pilar was crazy. Man. So yeah, man, people gotta stop. Well, they ain't gotta do nothing, but I think people should stop acting like these guys are, Yeah, you get on out of here. I've been over here 5 years. Yeah, move around. People gotta realize that most guys is leaving her, not their kids. And I hope that some of y'all kids will even watch this. Your father ain't leave you. Like if my father would have left, I wouldn't have looked at it like he was leaving us. Because I was a nosy kid. I knew what was going on. Now, some of that stuff was him. You can't be out here making people think you monogamous if you're not monogamous. I think the manly thing to do, if you're going to be dealing with other women, just to make that clear from the jump. Dudes they be greedy, they be selfish. They be wanting all these women to themselves, but they got to lie to keep them. Give her a chance to reject you. Like, look, I'm polygynous. Right now you would be the only one, but I'm letting you know that something else come along that I like, it's going to be both of y'all. They say, well, you can't even take care of one. Where's this take care stuff coming from? A man and a woman is supposed to take care of each other. They're supposed to team up. I don't get how women, when I was younger, I didn't know better. But some of my suffering that I shouldn't have never suffered like this in my adult years just because I want to be married. Think about it. Think about it. Had we been teaming up, like even, I would say a woman want to take care of home, that's fine. Fine. If you got special needs, if you homeschooling or any of that stuff, fine. But if you want to keep up financially with what's going on currently in the U.S., if you stay at home, you need to work remote. You need to get you a customer service or something and get the whole thing hooked up in your house. Because if he the only one working and he making under 150, he not going to enjoy life because either he ain't going to be able to buy nothing, or he's going to, everything that happened, he's going to be taking steps backwards. Take it from somebody who knows. I think the first thing that made us take steps backwards, right? We was trying to find little business niches. I invested in some vending machines that I never got. And dude didn't send me my money back either. I'm telling y'all, you can't trust these people. If y'all want to know why, one of the reasons why I say saving over investing, because investing, you have to trust people. And it's a lot of crooks out here. I invested in what was it? That Melaleuca stuff. Melaleuca, dude came to my house and everything. Excellent presentation. Man, that stuff was whack. We ain't make hardly no money from it. All of that stuff made me the person I am. I'm not going to rely on trusting people. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business, I'm not going to rely on trusting people. If I have a business partner, I'm still not going to trust him fully. And I'm going to have the money that if he try to switch up on me, I just take them to court. I'm not saying I can't work with people. I'm saying that I don't like build stuff based on trust. So all of this stuff about these guys being deadbeat, y'all need to cut that out, man. I learned that with my father's father, my grandfather. I used to look at him like, let her say it. He was a deadbeat. He left his family. But every time we went over there, man, he was just too glad to see us, man. He didn't leave his family, man. He did some things that she wasn't tolerating. And she basically put him out. I don't know who was paying the rent, but she put him out. They got divorced. But he was not a bad guy at all. Let her tell it. He was. I used to hear how she used to talk about him. I used to be like, I think one time I even threw shade at one of my cousins. I was like, I just didn't believe it. Because my grandfather lived in Chicago. Practically my whole life until he died, he lived in Chicago. I never believed he was a bad guy. Nobody's perfect, man. See, when people marry people, they expect them to be perfect. They expect everything to go good. But one thing that make marriages work is when stuff don't go good and you take the right attitude and you team up against it. When stuff don't go good, you getting confrontational or argumentative as if you didn't have a part in it. Nobody plans divorce. No man gets married to get divorced. And that's all I'm going to say on this one, because we got more videos to make and we got to get to work, y'all. Like, I done heard the stories about how they treat guys in court, man. I'm just hoping that I don't get one of those type. I'm really hoping. Because, listen, man, I'm hoping it don't happen because it's time for me to do this.